I can't wait to go to an Ivy League school, guys. Don't mind the freaking pimple. She's not doing too hot, okay? Okay. Also, I'm wearing Snoopy pajama pants. Hey guys, it's me, Jules, and I'm here with another video, and today I will be announcing where I'm going to college. Ever since like the idea of college came up in my head, I think like 8th grade, like watching my brother go through his process, like I would always watch these videos. It makes me look kind of sad, cause like now I'm making that video. But here we are now. If you guys watched last week's video, which if you haven't, go watch it, please. Then you guys would have known that I was accepted at 9 out of the 10 schools that I applied to. In today's video, I'll be going over what I was looking for in a college and how I decided where I wanted to go. We're just gonna get into like what I looked for in a school. Everyone's gonna have their own priorities for when they're like looking for schools and stuff, but these were mine. The number one thing I was looking for in a school was a good distance away from home. I hate super long car rides, like over 5 hours is already like, ugh. I didn't want to be too far, but I also didn't want to be too close. Another thing I was looking for in a school was the types of connections I can get when it comes to graduating in 4 years. Like I want to be able to hop right into a job right away. Another thing, which is, you know, most prevalent for most people, is tuition. You know, I didn't want to be spending like $70K on a school per year. And then also another thing was like social life. I was hoping that the school I went to had a really good location where, you know, there's a lot of stuff to do. And also like school spirit is a huge thing for me. I did enjoy the high school football games, and so I wanted to continue that throughout college. I'm also not a Greek life type of person. Like I have nothing personally against like sororities or fraternities, but I personally never saw myself joining a sorority, and so I also wanted to be able to go to a school that wasn't like super huge on Greek life, like where I would be able to still find people that I could vibe with. And then the last thing was also like a really nice campus. Usually something a lot of people look for too, especially when they're like touring schools in person. Also just like the layout of the campus, I also wanted to enjoy that. I also forgot to mention this, but for my major I was planning on going into something along communications. A lot of the schools I was looking for, I was hoping that they would have either like public relations or digital media / multimedia type of thing. With these core priorities, I was able to narrow down a lot of the schools I was thinking of applying to schools I was actually going to apply to. So we're gonna start narrowing down the schools. Yay. First school was Marist in Poughkeepsie, New York. Yeah, as you can see, I loved this school, but we're knocking it right off my list just because they did waitlist me. I applied early action, but they actually deferred me to regular decision. A month later, they waitlisted me, so I was like, okay, like I don't care as much anymore. I didn't get to tour as many schools this year or even last year because of the whole pandemic and stuff. I had to use a lot of what I remembered from when I was in 8th grade when I toured schools with my older brother when he was going through his college application process. Marist was one of the schools that I loved. The whole aesthetic, the views, everything was beautiful. Location wise, it was a good distance away from home. I was still really excited about applying to the school, but by the time they finally like gave me an answer, kind of, I ended up loving another school, so that's why I declined my offer to go on the wait list. The next school was Ramapo. It's actually like super close to home for my liking. Like literally like a couple minutes away. If I were to go, I would actually be commuting. It would have been like a cheaper option, but they also just didn't have the major or like a specific major I was looking for. Next school, oh my god, wait. Okay, RIT, Rochester Institute of Tech in Rochester, New York. This one was also easily taken off my list. This school I actually just applied to as something to like boost my ego if I got in, because it's actually my brother's school. My older brother goes here and he's enjoying it so far and he's doing well. He's killing it. You know, I've grown to love it over the years just because my brother goes there, but I had no intention of going to the school. I remember when I first toured it, and also just even whenever I go back, like it's just still not the type of school I would want to go to. Didn't really see myself being happy there. I did not like the campus aesthetic at all. It's also like super far from home. It's like 6 hours, 7 hours, which may not be as far to a lot of people, but that's like considered far for me. My English teacher and I were joking around about how it like literally looks like a prison because their school colors are orange and it's known for being a brick city. However, they do have really good programs if you're going into like tech and stuff. So if I were to have gone that route, I feel like this school would have been the smartest decision. And they ended up giving me a lot of money too. I think like the most out of all of the schools I applied to. So tuition wise, it would have been so good, especially for being out of state. I just did not see myself being happy here, and as I said, this was just a way to boost my ego to see if I could get into the school my brother goes to. RIT is knocked off my list. Goodbye! Next school is Monmouth. It was one of my safety schools. It's in New Jersey. The location was pretty nice because it is like a mile away from the beach type of thing. They did give me some scholarship money too, but I don't know, it just like wasn't my vibe. I didn't see myself going there. Like I just wasn't like excited to go to that school. I feel like that was also something I was looking for. Yeah, that was just kind of an easy thing to knock off. And then I also got accepted into UDEL, but I decided not to go there. I didn't really like research the school. I think the only reason I applied was because of distance, and then if I got in and really thought about going there, then I would have like toured it and stuff. I only liked it for its distance, honestly. So yeah, that was also something I knocked off my list pretty easily. Now we're going into like my top 5. So the next school was Rutgers. I got deferred for early action and then I got accepted later on, which was nice, but Rutgers would have been also another smart decision just because it is in-state tuition, and you know, it did have some school spirit. They had football games, D1 type of vibe, but they also didn't have my specific major. Like it was just like base communications, and I just, you know, I wanted something a little more specific. It was also another school I toured when I was in 8th grade with my older brother. I hated the campus so much. It was way too big for comfort. You were like forced to take the bus in order to get from point A to point B. I like the option of walking around, so I decided to reject my offer. The next school was University of Rhode Island. I heard, you know, they had a good communications program. It's a good distance away from home. From what I've seen online through like online tours and just pictures, like it's a really pretty campus, like aesthetic wise. This school also had really good tuition just because I got some scholarship money from them. However, I just like wasn't crazy about the school. There were like other schools that I was more excited about, and I also just didn't get a tour it in person, and I didn't really see myself being there either. So the next school on my list was Sacred Heart. It was the only school I got to tour in person. I literally fell in love with the campus. It was so beautiful. I love the aesthetic. Everything was just gorgeous. They had D1 football. It was also a Catholic school. I loved the dorms. They had the 2 majors I was looking at, you know, both digital media / multimedia and also public relations, and the location was also really nice because it was only like an hour away from home, which is still like kind of close but still like a decent amount of distance. My aunt is also like 30 minutes away from campus too, which was nice. After the whole application process, I realized that the school was really big on Greek life, and as I said earlier, like I'm not a huge Greek life person, and it's also rather small. Every girl I know that goes to Sacred Heart joins a sorority, so that's just like not really the vibe I was going for. It also just like wasn't as diverse as I wanted it to be too. Nothing against like PWIs and stuff, but because it was so small, it was just heavily concentrated. By the time my acceptance came, I was just like, no, because the deposit money was way too expensive. I think it was like $1,500 or like $1,000. It's also super expensive already on its own. Tuition really came to, yeah, I think it's like $60K. They did give some scholarship money. Just adding up all of the expenses, I just didn't think it was worth it, and there were also other schools that were giving the stuff that I wanted. The next school was TCNJ. This was another school I was like really thinking about. It has in-state tuition, which is really good education too. Like it's a pretty good college for New Jersey. They had this specific major of like interactive multimedia. They also had a big Filipino community, which I really was interested in. One of my family friend goes there and he loves it. That really intrigued me because I don't really have a huge Filipino community in my town. However, school spirit was pretty dull. Like, they don't really have any D1 sports. And I also wasn't in love with the campus. This was also another school I toured when I was in 8th grade. It was just mediocre. Like, it was pretty, but it wasn't like outstanding. And by the time they gave me my decision, I already fell in love with another school. And that school is Penn State, baby! I'm going to Penn State. I'm committed for a class of 2025. I'll be starting in the fall. I am so excited. If you saw my reaction video, like, Penn State was the one I was most excited about. I got accepted into their main campus too, which is really nice. Penn State was a really good distance away from home, about like 3 hours and a half. Their school spirit is insane. It's known for being like a cult, I guess, but I love it. Bruh. I don't know if you guys have seen like the TikToks. I didn't really have like a dream school, but I remember telling myself like, you know, at some point in my life, like, I need to go to a Penn State whiteout game. And now I have the opportunity to. I didn't really get like an official tour, but I got to drive around the area back in January. I absolutely love the campus. It's not too big where you have to take the bus. Like, everything is walkable. It's also gorgeous. I love the aesthetic. They have an amazing downtown area too. I actually committed to the school back in February because I just knew I wanted to go here. Like, all of the other schools, even though they were high up on my list, they just could not match my love for Penn State. They had those specific majors I was looking for. They also have a really cool program where you can spend a semester in Hollywood for like an internship and all that kind of stuff. So I was really excited about that. The school also has amazing connections because they have one of the, if not the biggest alumni network in the nation. So when it comes to finding an internship or even a job in general, Penn State has amazing connections that will help me get there. And they also gave me a lot of free stuff too. They gave me a phone wallet, which was really nice, and a beach ball. So I am so thrilled. I am so excited for this new chapter of my life. And you guys will be getting a lot of Penn State vlogs coming up. I will be vlogging the whiteout games if I do get the opportunity to go. Ah! I actually went up to State College yesterday. I'll show you guys some clips from my little drive through with my family.
Take my hand and hold it tight. Look at the paintings, I'll be your guide. Don't stop looking in my eyes. Are you cold? Do you want to sit down?
Even though like I did commit like 2 months ago and like it was on my Instagram and stuff, like it feels really nice being able to finally announce it on YouTube. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more Penn State related content. Make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe, and follow me on social media. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye guys.
Yeah. I don't have no time for no antics. Smile for the cameras. Oh, they like me now. Go ahead, wipe me down. She don't got a man, cause he ain't lock it down. Hey, do you?